How USA versus China will impact South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, North Korea, and Russia. Hey folks, let's chat about the USA versus China rivalry. And how it's shaking things up for some of their neighbors: South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, North Korea, and Russia. Alright, so the US and China are in this intense rivalry that affects almost everything globally. Trade, tech, military stuff, you name it. This isn't just some squabble, it's a full-on geopolitical tug-of-war, with big implications for countries close to both giants. Historically, the US and China have had a rocky relationship, swinging between cooperation and confrontation. Recently, tensions have escalated over issues like trade imbalances, human rights, and military presence in the Asia-Pacific. This rivalry doesn't just impact these two, it spills over to countries in the region, making them choose sides or, at the very least, navigate very carefully. So, what are the big deal points here? Trade wars: both nations have slapped tariffs on each other, disrupting global supply chains. Military maneuvers: there's a lot of muscle flexing, especially in the South China Sea. Tech competition: both are racing to dominate in areas like 5G and AI, which has implications for global security and economy. In-depth analysis: South Korea is really stuck between a rock and a hard place. Economically, they're tied to China, but for security, they're reliant on the US. This dual dependency puts enormous pressure on Seoul to balance its foreign policy carefully. Japan is upping its military game and sticking closely with the US to counter China's assertiveness. Yet, Japan also trades heavily with China, making for a delicate balancing act. Taiwan is probably the most contentious spot. Taiwan faces constant threats from China, which sees it as a breakaway province. The US, on the other hand, supports Taiwan militarily and politically, which only ramps up the tension. North Korea, with its usual play of brinkmanship, leverages the rivalry to gain concessions from both sides. It's a wild card, using its nuclear program to stay relevant and extract aid. Russia uses this rivalry to bolster its own influence. It partners with China to counterbalance the US, but also engages with the US when it suits its interests. This strategy enhances its geopolitical clout. Each country is playing its hand differently. South Korea and Japan are strengthening US alliances. Taiwan focuses on defense and international support. North Korea keeps playing its high-stakes game, and Russia maneuvers diplomatically to maximize its influence. In South Korea and Japan, the impact of this rivalry was evident. There's a palpable sense of tension, especially near military bases, and discussions about security and trade are common. In conclusion, the USA-China rivalry will undoubtedly continue to influence the geopolitical landscape. But it is essential to approach this competition with a focus on global peace and prosperity, instead of framing this as a zero-sum game, where one side must prevail over the other. There should be an emphasis on cooperation, mutual benefit, and shared progress. By fostering dialogue and understanding, countries like South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, North Korea, and Russia can navigate these turbulent waters more effectively, contributing to regional stability and global harmony. Let's shift our perspective from rivalry to cooperation. Share your thoughts on how we can promote global peace and prosperity amidst these tensions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on international relations and how we can work together for a better world.